Hello students, welcome to Gangs of Toppers. In this session, we are actually covering the topic of Mediterranean region. We are actually focusing the topic that is a Mediterranean region, or also known as subtropical western margin. So, please look this diagram. Okay, this is coming in the western margin. This is, you can say, that is Mediterranean type of climate. Okay, and it is lies in the western part. It is lies in the western part. In this diagram we see that is if it is north, and if it is south, and if it is west, and if it is east, and if it is west, then it lies in the western part. And you have to remember that this Mediterranean type of climate, that is, comes under the warm temperate zone. It comes under the warm temperate zone. Okay, so since we know that that is from tropic of Cancer to tropic of Capricorn, this region are called the tropical zone. And if we talk about the from Arctic Circle to what? Arctic Circle to tropic of Cancer, that is in the northern hemisphere, it comes under the temperate zone. So this Mediterranean type of climate, we are focusing on the warm temperate zone. Means this temperate zone is again divided into two parts, that is cold temperate zone and the warm temperate zone. So we are actually focusing on this, we are actually focusing on the warm temperate zone, and that is the first one is a Mediterranean type of climate. So it is written that the subtropical western margin means what? It is that subtropical means that is the temperate zone, and we are talking about in the western margin, and we are focusing on the warm temperate zone. Okay, let's go to the topic. The Mediterranean lands are so called. The Mediterranean lands are so called because the largest stress lies along the margin of the Mediterranean. So means why we call Mediterranean land or Mediterranean region or Mediterranean type of climate, because the largest areas of land that is lies along the margin of Mediterranean Sea. That is, regions similar to the Mediterranean lands in the natural environments are located on the western margins of the continent, that is between the latitude of 30 degree to 45 degree north and south of the latitude. Means we are talking that these the regions having similar type of climate, just like of Mediterranean Sea, that lies in the western margin, of the continent, and in the belt of 30 degree to 45 degree north and south of the latitude, and these are known by the common name by the Mediterranean region of the world. These are known by the common name that is called as Mediterranean region of the world. And these regions are restricted to the narrow coastal areas. Now, what are the regions? These regions are basically restricted to the narrow coastal regions of the continent, that is on the western margin. And this region lies between the tropical desert. Lies between the tropical desert, that is on the equator what side, and the cool temperate west margin region of the pole side. Now, if we so look this diagram, we are talking about that this is lies, that is just above the tropical desert, and just below the what? Just below the British type of climate of western margin. That is a cool temperature zone, that is just below the cool temperature zone, and just above the hot temperature zone, that is it is lying between these two. Okay, so it is written here that these regions lie between the tropical desert and cool temperate, and the cool temperate, that is on the west margin on the poleward side. Now, what are the areas that is involved in this region? Areas, first area is Europe. Europe means the margin of the south, Portugal, Spain, France, Italy, Romania, Bulgaria, Yugoslavia, and the Greek. These are the region that lies under the Mediterranean type of climate. And after that is we have some Asia part, that is the part of Turkey, Syria, Lebanon, and the Israel. And if you talk about the Africa, that is the coastal area of Algeria, Morocco, Tunisia, and the Libya. It is actually in the Northern Africa. Now, North America, that is the coastal California, and that is around the San Francisco. South America, that is the central Chile, and the South Africa, that is the region around the Cape Town. And the last one is Australia, that is the southwest area. The southwest area, that is we have always remember this diagram. This diagram is going to help and is going to write in exam very many points from this diagram. You can write about any type of climate. Okay, so we are talking about this. That is, we are talking about the Australia, that is the southwest Australia area, that is around the Perth, and the south around the Adelaide. Now, about the climate, that is the summers are hot. About the climate, the summers are hot and dry. But winters are cool and hot. But winters are, because in winter we generally get rainfall due to Mediterranean type of climate. Now, what is the mean temperature of the hottest month? That is about 20 to 25 degrees Celsius. Means what is the temperature? That is 20 to 25 degrees Celsius, and the rainfall varies from 35 to 75 centimeter. Means this area receives very less rainfall. Now, next point is that about the local winds, that is cause sudden change in the temperature. You have to remember that there are many local winds that are going to change the sudden change in temperature. And the first one is Sirocco. This is the hot, dry local winds that is blowing in the region and it is known as that is Sirocco, and is blowing in the Sahara region. This is a Sirocco. It is a hot and dry local winds that is blowing in the region of Sahara Desert, and it is locally called as Sirocco. So these local winds are going to sudden change in the temperature. The cold local winds that is called minstrel that is moves down the alpine range and affect the climatic condition of the region. So this is very important that these cold winds are going to affect the which region, that is affecting the alpine range, that moves down the alpine range and going to affect the climatic condition of the region, and these cold winds are called as minstrels and the hot and dry winds are called as Sirocco. So I can ask this question in the exam, that is what is the difference between Sirocco and the minstrel. Sirocco, it is a hot dry local winds, and minstrel is a cold dry, or you can say cold local winds. Now about the vegetation, the strong, that is there is a strong contrast from the hot dry to the cool wet is witnessed in the vegetation. Means you can see that it is hot dry, it is a hot dry and the cool wet, because hot dry means when it is in the summer it is hot dry, but if you talk about winter it is a cool wet. So there is a strong contrast, there is a strong means there is a great difference between the hot and dry and the cool wet in the vegetation, which consists of trees, which consists of water trees, shrubs and the grasses, are popularly known as a marquis vegetation. So from here we can conclude this is a marquis vegetation. So what kind of vegetation is lies in the Mediterranean region? We can say that is a marquis vegetation. Now it is a xerophytic type. It is a xerophytic type and has adapted itself with the long roots, waxy leaves, and the thick spongy bark. Already, this xerophytic type already studied in the previous topic, that is a what? Tropical desert. Now they are evergreen. They are evergreen plants, and the vines with long roots, lemon, orange, and the lawrence with thick leathery leaves, and the olive with a small waxy leaves helps survive the drought. Means due to this xerophytic means adaptation, that is long roots, waxy leaves, and the thick spongy barks, they are going to help. These are going to help to survive in the drought condition. Now some of the that is the main trees are oak, laurel, olive, fig, that is lavenders and all. Eucalyptus is the most common trees in the Australian region. Eucalyptus that is most common in the Australian region. Now about the adaptations, very important. If we talk about the adaptations, then what is going to happen? This that is a Mediterranean region, that is also referred as orchard of the world. This is very important. This region is known as orchard of the world. So means what is going to happen? This Mediterranean region is also referred as orchards of the world. That is the land with 1% of the world is densely populated areas and practice intensive agriculture. Means if we talk about the area, that is only 1% of the world that is densely populated area and practice, means the land with 1% of the world is densely populated area and practice intensive agriculture. They have traditional and distinctive form of agriculture. They have traditional and the distinctive form of agriculture. Farming here involve the cultivation of wine, olive, cereals, as well as the rearing of few sheep, goats, etc. And the crop grown in this region are possible due to mild winter. The crop grown that is during this region are possible due to mild and wet winter rainfall. Why crops are possible? Because in winter they are getting rain. The last one, the main crops are orange. The main crops are orange, lemon, that is a apricotic, that is a pomegranates, that is and all. These are the vegetation, and that's why this region are called as what? Orchards of the world. Thank you.